Hey y'all, Dustin from Loony Loomworks here. Today, I'm going to teach you a very simplistic and surprisingly easy pattern for your weavings, the checkered pattern. Let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, I got my loom already set up with the warp strings going, and I already did my first pass with my first color. It's the same as your standard weaving. Go ahead and start it the exact same way and do your first pass. Now, when you get your first pass done, you're going to want to start in with your second color. This is going to be a little bit different with how we start this than I have shown in my other videos. So we're going to continue on with the next row as if we were continuing on with our first color. So we're going to go ahead, since it's going under here, we're going to want to go over this warp string and just do the opposite of that previous row. Now be careful here, because this is where it gets different. We are not going to be wrapping it around and tucking it in. We're going to leave a little bit of a tail. We're going to have some excess here. And this is the reason why, because our next row is going to be blue. So we're going to want to take that and add it to our edge. So we're going to want to go over. And the reason we're wanting to go over that one is that we're going to go under this warp string. So we're going to need something to hold this string on the edge. If we don't go over that, this warp string will not be caught. We're just going to unweave everything we just did on that first row. So we go over that string, and then back under, and then do the opposite of that previous row we just did in green. Go ahead and start pulling that through. And when you get here, you'll notice, you'll see what I was talking about. It's gripping that string, preventing it from being pulled under. So let's go ahead, let's kind of tack it down some. You're not going to want to do it too tight because you are going to need to pull that tight. Just kind of use your hands, manipulate it. Make sure to keep an even tension. And there we are. It has begun. I know it doesn't look too much like a checker pattern yet, but it'll get there. So now we need to do the same thing over here. So we need to find a way to take this second color and wrap it around this first color so that when we go back over this warp string, it catches this and keeps it from undoing our weaving. So we're going to want to go under this side. So let's go under it. And then we'll just repeat the pattern of what we did. Slide it on through. Let it grip that edge. And go ahead and beat it on down. Alright, and you can start to see the pattern somewhat emerging there. It kind of just looks like vertical lines right now, but that's okay. We're going to do one more pass with each color. So let's take our first color. And do the exact same thing. So we don't have to really worry about it gripping on this side. If you notice, since it's already there and has it gripped, we don't need to worry about gripping it. So we just repeat the blue pattern that we did the previous 2 times. And there we are. Tack it on down. Alright, and then one more time with the green. So, looking at our strings, how we're going to want to do this, we're going to want to go under the blue. That way we can grip it, and then go over under. Pull it on through. And there we are. So we can see that we've got kind of this vertical line pattern going here. If you look at a checkerboard, that's basically what it is. Vertical lines that end up being offset every so often. So let's go ahead and start making our checkered pattern. We're going to want to keep going with our secondary color at this point. So instead of wrapping it around the primary color, we're just going to go ahead and just do the next row. Just act like you're doing a normal over-under weave. Get it on through. Go ahead and stamp it down once you get it through, a nice tension. One thing to keep in mind with this one will make your edges a little bit, a little bit tighter. And that's a-okay, that happens. Just keep an eye on it. So now we need to take our first color, wrap it around, and then away we go. We just do the opposite of the color we just did, the row we just did. It's going to grip it. It's going to pull it in. We're going to stamp it down. And there we go. We're just going to continue on. You can kind of start seeing something happening there. So we'll take our green, go right on through. Bring it on down. And then we're going to go with the blue. We've got to wrap it around. Do the opposite. Pull it tight. Stomp it on down. And do the same with the green. We just keep repeating. Once you find that easy flow with it, it's really simple to keep it going. And then we start packing that down. I'll go one more time with the blue. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Bring it around. And there you are. You can definitely start seeing that checkered pattern emerge. Now this is where you can start getting interesting. You can even start bringing in a third color if you wish. You can take out the green and start doing red. Or you can just keep going with the back and forth of this pattern. So there you are. You have just woven your first checkered pattern. And just like that, you have a new pattern in your weaving arsenal. I hope you had as much fun learning as I did teaching today. And as usual, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments section below. Thank you all, and as always, stay loony, and I love you.